Yo, yo. Alright. I'm gonna do a Kozmo deck profile real quick. I played this at Locals Tuesday night. Built it quite literally a couple hours before Locals. I had all my other decks put up, including trains. Everything's put up. I'm gonna play Zodiac Tri Brigade for a bit and try it out. Uh, and then we'll get back to trains, don't worry. But wanted to play something kind of different, have a little bit of fun. So I threw Cosmos together. I have not been playtesting whatsoever, so everything that I kind of put into this was just based off prior knowledge. Did a just a pretty standard build to what I would think would be good, and that's what I played at local. So don't like think that this is like a very thought through deck or anything that I've been like grinding online or anything. This is just my take on it, and it worked out pretty all right. It's still a super fun deck. Maybe we'll get some support. Probably not, but they did just reprint Dark Destroyer and Cosmo Town and that disgusting gold rare. So who knows? We might get something. But nonetheless, I'm gonna go over this real quick. Triple Tin Can, still pretty standard. I love this card. R2D2 is insane. Loads your grave and your hand with resources that you need. Still tags out, gets you into the big guys, so still 3 of in my opinion. 2 Strawman. Again, like I said, these ratios could be different. You might only play 1 Strawman. I don't know. This is what I played and what I was comfortable with, and it seemed to work out all right. But don't think like that this is the definitive like lineup that you have to play. But this is what I went with. 1 Sword Trooper and Double Farm Girl. Sword Trooper's a great extender. You can bring back Dark Witch, Wicked Witch, I'm sorry, Dark Lady or Wicked Witch on top of Farm Girl, so you do have quite a bit of options. Actually, you can bring back quite literally any of your little pilots. He's bonkers. Also, you can E-Telly any of the level 3s out, which is cool. We're doing 1 Wicked Witch and 2 Dark Lady. Still a standard one of, you don't play Good Witch, she's just trash. Well, I know she's got a Book of Moon effect, but I think, yeah, it's not even a quick effect, so it's trash. Dark Lady, effect negator, really good, allows you to play through hand traps or just set up turn 1 boards that make it hard for your opponent to break. Could play her at 1, but I like her at 2, I suppose. For the ships, we're playing Triple Slip Rider. Lets you go into your Nova Infinity package a little bit more consistently, and any like your Volcasaurus play if you really need to. You don't really touch the extra deck, but it is nice to have the utility there. You might argue too, but 3 seemed pretty good. This card's just, I mean, especially on your opponent's end phase, being able to pop off and clear their back row just makes your OTK that much easier on your turn. So, Triple Slip. We are doing 1 Forerunner. Still decent enough, I think, to play at 1. This should have been like a Ultra at some point. Same with the Slip Rider. I hate Gold Rare, so they just need to upgrade these and get them on par with the rest of the deck. But 1 Forerunner. The big daddy of the deck, playing Triple Dark Destroyer. This card, oh my god, this card's still good. I mean, it's so, like, this deck isn't like tier 1 by any means, but as far as just like a fun deck to play, I mean, this deck is kind of, or this card at 3 is kind of what allows this deck to thrive and do what it can do as far as OTKing. We're playing 1 Dark Eclipser. You could side this, I suppose, but it's just another great 3k beater that you can go into. It doesn't special summon when it's destroyed. It does add to hand, but in some instances that's still fine. And against certain matchups, the trap negation can be pretty pivotal. So that is it for the Kozmo lineup itself as far as the monsters are concerned. I believe the deck is at a 41 count. I don't know how many monsters that is. And then we are playing 2 Nibiru. You could play 3 if you really wanted to. I'm just playing 2. Obviously, you don't know if you're going first or second until the dice roll. I go first with this deck, but if you break, open up the Nibiru, obviously that's a nice like a fallback plan to prevent you from getting OTK'd. Or if you're obviously going second, just being able to Nibiru them, pop the Dark Destroyer, or pop the token with Dark Destroyer and OTK away. Also, not a bad idea. Triple Cosmo Town, super consistent field spell that allows you to access any of your monsters that are banished, and lets you mulligan your hand with Cosmo monsters, so no reason not to be playing 3. This card, I definitely don't know if you play this in this deck or not, but I just got my 3rd one, and it's really good at helping you break boards if you're going second, and if for whatever reason you get hand trapped. I don't really know what you'd going first, what you get hand trapped on during your main phase, because all you have is Tin Can. So this might not be the most optimal, but again, I just got 3 of it. I built it the night before the day of locals, slightly prior to the actual tournament, so I threw in 3 triple tactics. Do with these spots what you will. I'm not saying that that's mandatory, but Triple Tactics is a good card. Double Extravagance, if I had a third one, I'd probably be putting it in here, but 2 works out quite well. It seems to show up whenever I need it, but again, you don't really use your extra deck, and those 2 extra cards can definitely get you into cards that'll help you win. No shit. 1 E-Telly, 1 Monster Reborn. I mean, E-Telly can quite literally just be the difference between game in the battle phase or not, being able to get out a Farm Girl, poke, search out Dark Destroyer, summon Dark Destroyer, pop another shit. I mean, oh lord. Card's just nuts in this deck. If this ever goes back to 2 or 3, like, this deck just only gets better with it. And then Monster Reborn is super good with Tin Can, because obviously you're dumping your Dark Destroyers and your Slip Riders. You're not always going to get them to hand, so being able to just access any of your Kozmo monsters back for free is pretty good. For the traps, 2 Cosmojo, because you gotta have Mojo, baby. Targets an opponent's field and graveyard. A lot of people kind of look past the graveyard effect, but I mean, this card also completely insane. Gives a great control aspect to the deck. 2 Solemn Strike. I was thinking about playing Judgment, but considering how many life points you burn through in this deck, it just didn't seem like that solid of a card. Whereas Strike's not as hefty of a cost, but still kind of gets you the same control aspect. Still a really solid card. Don't mind it at all. Storm Dragon's Return. This card is absolutely bonkers in this deck, especially if you have like access to a Dark Destroyer. Special summons one of your banished monsters, and then during the end phase returns it to your hand. But just the amount of control that gives you on your opponent's turn for either Dark Destroyer or Slip Rider, being able to pop what need be, and then adding it back to your hand, allowing you to resummon it on your turn, is absolutely disgusting. Or, I mean, during the end phase, you can, if you have a pilot, you can special summon Dark Destroyer, pop, have it back to your hand, and then trigger your pilot, special, double pop. I mean, you get what I'm saying. So, very solid in this deck. 2 back to the front. It's kind of like a Monster Reborn for your opponent's turn. Special summons a monster in your graveyard in defense position, and it's quite literally as simple as that. Again, you're just trying to pop and control your opponent's field as much as possible, and then OTK. And then my favorite trap card in the whole game, along with just another card that's broken in the deck, a Macro and a Skill Drain. This card I will play in any deck that I can play it in. Trains, Dark Magicians, Cosmos. This is just my favorite trap card, and it just tends to work so well. I've won so many games with this card. I mean, it quite literally does with the name of the card. It just takes all skill out of the game, but it's so much fun. I love it, and it's just anytime I can find application for it in a deck, I'm gonna play that shit. So that's the main deck. 41 cards. Nothing too crazy, nothing too spicy or innovative. Just some good old Cosmos. The extra deck quite literally does not matter. You can play 15 fusions in here if you really want to. I just made mine as generic as possible. These are all just extra targets, and if you really need to go into Nova and Infinity, you can. I mean, the Volcasaurus pop with the Thunder Charger combos there. You will probably never touch any of these, but again, they're all just options, utilities, and tech. This is nothing but open for interpretation on your behalf. The only things I would definitely recommend, I would say, like maybe these 4, just so you have that option. But more times than not, your Cosmo deck is not reliant on your extra deck like one bit. So don't get too caught up if you're missing something out of here that I'm playing. Like you more times than not won't even be touching this part of your deck. For the side, again, pretty open for interpretation. I haven't been playtesting a lot or going to locals recently, so this is just kind of what seemed to be good to me at the time prior to building the deck. Triple Joel Monk, just being able to shut down Cosmo, or no, I'm sorry, not Cosmo, combo decks. I'm looking for Noble Knights, do a lot of searching, like the Invoked package, maybe Dragon Link. I'm going to sound really ignorant right now, but just Joel Monk seems like a very solid hand trap for this format. I'm playing 2 Scythe along with that, obviously with the Sanctum package, just to be able to lock your opponent out of the extra deck, give yourself a level 5 as well, but just giving yourself that stun factor, allowing you to OTK on your next turn. Triple Dimensional Barrier, again, just a card that seemed pretty solid, being able to lock your opponent out of a specific summoning style for a whole turn, just gives you that one extra push that you need on your turn to OTK. And then Triple Lightning Storm. And I mean, that pretty much wraps it up for the side deck. Just standard going second card. Not really much more to it than that. The deck itself, not tier 1 by any stretch of the imagination, but it's perfect for locals and just going and playing. And I mean, obviously, if you can find your blowout cards like Macro, Skill Drain, and you can play around with the Kozmo monsters enough to give yourself a control aspect. You'll definitely find success with the deck. It's not the most competitive by any stretch of the imagination, but it is still, I mean, being able to throw out 3k untargetable beaters that pop monsters on the field can definitely be a pain in the ass for some decks. So catch a lot of people off guard. You can still have a lot of fun with the deck. I did. I obviously wouldn't take it to any events just expecting to breeze through the competition, but it's definitely still viable for those that want to play it and try it out, and that's what I did. So I hope you guys enjoy the profile. Maybe you guys can get some fun and use out of it. But until next time, thank you so much. I appreciate your time and hope you liked the video. Listen to 1788L. This dude's my shit.